Good evening, Chris. Magandang gabi sa'yo.
Good evening, Coach, and good evening sa ating mga early birds.
At sa ating mga early birds, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Isang magandang Tuesday evening. Walang ulan, no? Walang ulan ngayon. So, maraming makakauwi ng matiwasay sa kanilang mga bahay, no? No need for payong tonight. No weekend, medyo maulan. No, no weekend, medyo maulan. So,
Pabugso-bugso ang ulan. Medyo ang tinatawag nga nila ay bipolar daw ang ating weather dahil sobrang init at biglang uulan ng malakas.
yan. Grabe. So, ay marami rin pong nagkakaroon ng mga karamdaman. So, mag-ingat po tayo. At let's always take care of ourselves, no? Ang pinaka-importante yung Chris, no? Yung preventive, 'di ba? Kaysa yung gagamutin mo yung sakit. So, bago tayo maging salamat, Doc, no? At
Ano bang tips natin sa mga gamot at vitamina,
iba,
Doc?
ibang programa yun, ano tayo dyan, yun. So, again, maraming salamat kay Victor Mempin for being the earliest of early birds always, no? Gandang gabi sa'yo at sa lahat po ng maaga nag-tune in. So, ngayong gabi ay ang pagpapatuloy, the continuation of our discussion about practical people principles, 'di ba? Yung ating top 5 leadership tips para sa iyong resto negosyo.
Yes, tongue twister din tayo this week pala, Coach. Tina-practice ko yan kanina habang nagta-drive. Paano pag sinabing mabilis?
Practical
Practical.
people principles. Ayan. So, last week, napakaganda ng ating discussion kaya parang lumipad yung isang oras. And I'm sure nag-enjoy yung ating mga classmates last Tuesday. 'Di ba? Ang daming naisulat sa kanilang mga mahiwagang notebooks. And please go ahead, Miss Chris, sa pag-share ng iyong top 3 takeaways from last week para itong si Coach Donald Tenorio, naka-ready na rin, no? Good day, mate, sabi ni Coach Donald. Good day. Good day, mate. Ayan.
And to think that last week, yung first two principles pa lang yung tinatakal natin. Pero ang bilis ng oras natin, Coach, di ba? So ngayon, very exciting because we'll tackle the number 3 and number 4 principle. But before all of that, yung sinabi nga ni Coach, I'll tackle first yung ating, kung ang tawagin ko, yung prerequisite principle natin, another P, di ba? So,
Prerequisite principle na inaabangan, syempre, ng mga early birds, si Teacher Yam, si John Eldrick Nang mula sa New Zealand, sa Wellington. Ayan, naging guest din natin yan kung matatandaan nyo, no? Our condolences, of course, pagpanaw ng kanyang lola na si Nanay Miriam. At sa buong Catador family po, no? Our condolences and prayers. Si Marcy Marcelo, no? Early bird na parati si Marcy. Maraming salamat, brother. Isa sa mga batikang haligi yan ng operations ng grupo ng Shakey's. Si Chef Jordan Bernardo at ang team Mad Cafe. Yan. One of the fastest growing casual dining restaurants. No? Homegrown. Proud to say it's homegrown. Si classmate Arnold Regalado. Malamang kasunod na niya si Teacher Sining. No? Ang nagyayaya ng mga classmates ko nung elementary. No? Ayan, si pareng Arnold Regalado. Ayan. So maraming salamat po sa mga early birds at nakahanda kayong mag-take down ng notes as Miss Chris will summarize, no? Pati yung prerequisite principle nga sabi. Go ahead, Miss Chris.
so ang first one talaga natin na prerequisite principle or yung principle number 1 is we have to develop your P2R and commit to building a culture. So, ang medyo malawak to dito tayo nag-spend ng time din last week because dapat we keep on emphasizing that you have to have a strong why, di ba? We begin with the why. So, yung why na yun, doon natin sa P2R kinukuha. P2R or yung ating specify last week is the P2S from developing your purpose, 'di ba? Or coming up with your purpose with a strong purpose, 'di ba? Yung vision natin, your strategy, plans, systems and standards and then yung result will come naturally.
Yes, no, prerequisite principles, ibig sabihin po, yan yung mga, again, it's not gospel truth, it's not from a book, but it's from mostly from my own personal experience and of course, the experience of working with collaborators such as kanina si Donald Tenorio, no? Sama ko yan na involved din siya dun sa pag-create ng framework na dati tawag pa namin intention to purpose pa lang, to results pa lang yan dati. No? So, as it evolved, no, ang pinaka-importanting action step is to make sure that you have the discipline to complete the prerequisite principles, di ba? Yung purpose, yung vision, no, yung purpose being the why, no? Why are you doing it? Why are you creating something? Why are you, putting up your resto negosyo? Your vision, where do you want it to be in, for example, in 5 years, in 10 years time? Yung sinabi nga natin doon, Chris, diba? Very detailed picture of the future state of your resto negosyo. And then number 3, okay, alam mo na bakit mo ginagawa, saan ka pupunta, diba? How do you plan to do it in the most efficient and cost-effective manner, diba? O yung pinaka-efficienteng pamamaraan, no? Para maabot mo yung vision, marating mo yung vision, ma-accomplish mo yung purpose. So strategy is about, as the name implies, being strategic, being smart, being smart about how you go about things, acknowledging the amount of resources you have and the competition and all the other factors, externally and internally. And then pag meron ka ng malinaw na how to do it, why, when, where, how, gawin mo na yung detalye ng plano mo, yung brand plan, yung business plan, yung brand plan, yung business plan, at yung unang-una, yung people plan. Kaya nga pinag-uusapan natin ngayon is about people, di ba? And then, pag meron ka ng malinaw ng mga plano, lagyan mo ng sistema at standards, di ba? Standards and systems para maging madali para sa mga tao, yung mga teammates mo, yung entire organization to accomplish the purpose and to reach the vision, to fulfill the vision by executing the strategy.
Yes. Sinabi nga natin, Coach, diba, P2R or yung P2R natin is a manifestation of our core values or the core values of your organization. So it's about yung, lalo na yung sinabi natin, yung purpose, vision natin, and strategy. It's about telling the story. It's about telling the story of your brand. It's about telling the story of you as an individual, as an entrepreneur, kung bakit natin ginagawa to.
Maganda kasi doon, you set it out as a journey at the beginning. Yung vision, convert mo into a journey, with exciting chapters, and then it becomes a story, as you accomplish it, di ba? As you accomplish it. So maganda yung vision, naging storya, naging journey, Parang imagine mo, sasakay ka sa bus, Sasakay ka sa aeroplano, it's a journey, and then it evolves into becoming an inspiring story for others to be inspired with, to follow, di ba? To learn from. So, yan. Parang ito, nasa kanyang journey sa New Zealand, Si Reynard Loseo Gallego, aka DJ RR. Ayan. Better late than never. Hihi. Yan ang mga trademark ng mga batian. Magkaklase yan sa kasi John Eldrick Nang. Sila yung mga taga Wellington, New Zealand. Patuloy
Okay.
nyo ang pagkataguyod ng kulturang Pilipino diyan sa ayan. Gandang gabi. Okay, Chris. Pagpatuloy.
So once na-establish na natin yung P2R and of course yung culture, 'di ba? Yung pag na-develop natin or commit to building a culture based on your P2R. Now na nandun na yung storya natin, we then find the right people, 'di ba? We recruit the right people or talent and invest in their development.
Well, investing in their development, napakagandang pakinggan. Pero sabi ko nga, speaking of prerequisites, very important is recruiting the right people. Kasi yung resources na i-invest mo, mas maganda yon na you exercise due diligence to select and recruit. Again, hindi tayo gumagamit ng word na hiring kasi medyo mas passive yun eh. Kailangan mas active tayo, mas seeking yan, mas aggressive, recruiting, finding, talagang actively searching for the right people. And paano mo ma-define yung right people kung hindi mo ginawa yung principle number 1, which is yung defining your purpose. Kasi in the process of doing your P2R, you will also write down your core values, diba? So dun mo i-align, Kaya napag-usapan dyan, nung diniscuss natin sa last episode, yung values to value. How do you harness the core values of the company and the individual core values of your people to create tangible value for the world, di ba? That they're willing to pay for, that is differentiated from your competition, etc. So ako na-excite ako nung nakita ko biglang naririto si Chef Jun de Guzman ng Malabon. No, minsan nami-miss natin dahil sobrang busy talaga to. At si Ma'am Cynthia Bernardo ng University Hotel, di ba? Formerly of University Hotel. Si Harold Diang, naririto na rin ang ating classmate. Present, si Jericho Sagid, si Leilani at si Jerry Bruces, nandirito na rin. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. At si Quincy, syempre hindi pa uhuli yan. Nag-good evening siya sa ating mga classmates, no? Okay. So, sige, sa pagpapatuloy, Chris.
And ang ganda nung when we talk about yung values to value, 'di ba? And yung pag-recruit natin, it's not about yung employer natin investing in us. We also have to invest in ourselves. And when it comes to recruitment, ang ganda nung sinabi mo nung prerequisite principle natin, coach, na yung setting your P2R, 'di ba? Kasi doon din natin i-align for in terms of recruitment, yung building blocks natin, 'di ba? Doon natin titingnan yung building blocks natin. So before we go into the who and then yung lahat ng process natin, kailangan yung tamang tao muna, yung mga nakasakay sa ating bus.
Very important. Otherwise, you'll be wasting time and resources.
Yes. Okay, excited na ako, coach, for our principle number 3. Kanina ko pa tinitignan yung notebook natin dahil medyo mauubos ko na yung mahiwagang notebook ko. Kailangan ko nang mag-update.
Yan. Oo. Kailangan medyo liitan mo yung sulat. Okay, ngayong gabi po ay pag-uusapan natin, gaya na nabanggit kanina, review. No, summarize muna natin para mas maganda yung absorption natin ng discussion. So nabanggit natin no sa pangunang bahagi nung last episode, 5 mga principles, yung people principles that we are going to talk about last week, this week, and next week. So tonight, no, we're going to talk about principles number 3 and 4. So last week it was principle number 1, developing your P2R, your purpose to results, and committing to building a culture. But number 2 is recruiting the right people and investing in their development. Ngayong gabi, number 3, setting excellence as your standard and establishing systems that will help your team succeed. Number 4, ngayong gabi rin yan, validating, following through, and respectfully holding people accountable. Yun, exciting part yun. Paborito kong discussion yan eh. And number 5, no, and next week na to, no, number 5 next week, and then we will do a short recap, no, after, talking about number 5, principle number 5. People principle number 5 is recognize, reward, and share the success. Yan.
Okay, without further ado, ito na naman tayo.
Without further ado.
So yung principle number 3 natin, set excellence as your standard and establish systems that will help your team succeed. Parang yung principle number 3 pa lang natin, hitik na at medyo malaman na yun agad, coach eh. So medyo ihiwalayin ko siya. Yung first part, setting excellence as your standard. Ito yung lagi nating sinasabi that yung pag-set ng ating standard, it shouldn't be the company doing that for you, di ba? You should have your own standards. And as a leader, ikaw yung magsiset ng standards for everyone else or for you. You have to lead yourself. So, ang unang tanong ko, coach, is ano ba yung mga key traits of a person na makikita mo who are committed to an excellent standard?
Well, nako, napakaganda ng katanungan mo kasi 'di ba, a lot of, the last week we talked about recruiting the right people. So one of the things that you look for is yung somebody who's committed to excellence. 'Di ba? Kita mo ang lalim ng ginamit na term, 'di ba? Committed to excellence or committed to excel, no? Very challenging siya to discern, no? Lalo kung pagbabasihan mo lang interview or no. But I guess even as you, let's say for the most fundamental engagement, which is usually the first engagement is a job interview, no? Or recruitment effort, then you engage the candidate. Diba? May mga maliliit at basic at very easy to discern indicators of excellence. Kasi yung excellence sa discipline magkapatid yan eh. Diba? Kaya yung discipline is required to achieve excellence. And then you have to set excellence as your goal for you to be motivated to be disciplined. No? Napakalalim nun, Chris, no? Kasi Sabi nga, meron pa rin prerequisite ng discipline, which is, a clear purpose and a clear why. And then yung prerequisite na naman nun, may isa pa ulit, i-rewind mo pa, is the attitude of gratitude. Diba? So, bakit ganun kalalim yung diskusyonan? Kasi setting excellence as a standard for a person is not a natural instinct. No? It is developed. No? Imagine mo, mula sa pagkabata, you should see it as an example. What is an example of excellence? Kasi, if you have no clear idea of what excellence looks like rather, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-aspire kasi as you know, people are very visual. No, visual meaning not only in terms of watching it on TV or on video, but more so in terms of an example that is closer to home, di ba? For example, sa bahay, di ba? Ano yung mga maliliit na mga indicators, yung kalinisan, no, pagiging organized, di ba? Yung attention to detail, di ba? Now, saan nagma-manifest yan? Pagka in-interview, alam naman puntahan mo pa sa bahay, di ba? Pero alam mo, ano yan, it's a very relevant story during the time of the pandemic when people started using Zoom. Di ba? And a lot of people, nakita mo yung standard ng isang tao, kung ano yung background niya, kung ano yung suot niyang damit. No? Kasi yung iba, akala, porque naka-work from home, dapat dress for home din. Diba? Merong mga naglalakad sa likod. Maraming nakakatawa pero sa totoo lang, malalim ang kahulugan. Sapagkat, back in the days, you have to go to your office and then the office is organized, somebody cleans it, there's a janitor, na makikita mo mas reflective yung totoong natural environment ng tao, no? Kasi parang ang katwiran ko niya, kung mas malinis pa yung opisina mo kaysa sa bahay mo, there's something wrong. Because you live in your house, no? You just work at your office, di ba? So having said that, no, the indicators are grooming, di ba? Punctuality, no? Kasi sabi ko nga, magkapatid yung discipline at saka excellence, no? Early is on time is late, late is unacceptable. So, preparation, no? Preparation, yung mga taong preparado. He always takes the time to prepare, no? Very disciplined in terms of, staying ahead of, questions. Another thing that I look for, of course, is yung mas tangible, no? Track record. Diba? Yung track record, yung pag tinanong mo, what are your accomplishments and achievements, kaya niyang i-differentiate yung pagiging busy lang or activities from, differentiating it from accomplishments, actual accomplishments. And yung binabanggit na mga accomplishments, meron siya talagang makita mo kung ano yung standard niya. Ang mga sinasabi niya, yung doon tayo nagkakaiba-iba bilang tao, no? Doon nagkakaroon ng calibration of standards na tinatawag. And I always say, di ba, yung video nga na inedit ni Sean for us, di ba? That's why I think that was an excellent choice for Sean to choose that particular clip. Di ba? Sinasabi doon that while the company sets a standard, no, a set of standards, it actually ang nasusunod is your own standard. No, when you lead a shift, when you lead a restaurant, when you are taking care of a particular segment of the business or the entire organization itself, diba? Ultimately, the decisions that you make are indicative or reflective, and the actions that you do, no, the items that you prioritize it indicates clearly your standard, diba? Kaya nga, parati kong reminder sa ating mga teammates, diba? Whatever you submit to me for approval is reflective of your level of diligence, of your level of preparation, of your level of attention to detail. And these are traits that when we talk about, put them all together, ang end result niyan is an excellent quality of work. Kasi ang kapatid rin, aside from discipline, ang excellence is yung quality. If you want to understand excellence in a more simple term, ang unang ginagamit ko dyan is quality. Diba? Quality of work. Diba? Ano ba sa'yo yung basic? Ano ba sa'yo yung unacceptable? Ano ba sa'yo yung desired? Ano ba sa'yo yung excellent? Diba? How do you define? No? Kung, diba, yung kalaban nga ng Pilipino, sabi nga ng marami, diba, is yung katagang pwede na yan. Diba? So kung sa'yo, pwede na yan, well, it's indicative of your level of standard. No, another popular Filipino story is of course, our anecdotes of when you bring Filipinos to like first world countries or countries known for their discipline, Singapore, Japan. Bakit people start to adapt and to the environment and start excelling? Di ba? Kasi nga ano eh no, it's a good case study of how do you is it really the society that sets the standard for you? No, ako I would like to take the stand that it's more of yourself setting, you know,
Yes.
your own personal standard of how you define excellence, no, and quality for that matter.
Ang ganda nung sinabi niyo, coach, about yung setting your personal standards, because yung if you have a really great leader, 'di ba? Or if you're a great leader who has high standards for excellence, even with different environments, dapat yung standards natin ina-uphold natin 'yan eh. It doesn't matter kung kunwari nandun ka sa environment na puro high performing, or napunta ka sa environment na talagang you will be the one mentoring everyone. Pero yung standards natin, hindi yan dapat nababalik. Kaya nga tinawag na standards eh. Yan yung baseline mo eh. So, kung yun yung standards mo, it has to be consistent.
Yeah, ano no, very siguro lagyan natin ng magandang ano no, practical example. Halimbawa, no, you're a store manager, no, you're a store manager. No, kasi marami rin tayong audience dito na nasa management team. And then you know, and your area manager or your area business leader visits your store, no? And then nung nagbigay ng feedback, no, ano yung naging mindset mo? Ano yung naging attitude mo towards that feedback, no? Pwedeng ang maging mindset mo positive, na, ay, sayang, hindi ko nakita yon. I need to calibrate my standards further. Ang galing ni ma'am, nakita niya yon, no? Ang galing ni Coach Melody, no? Si Melody, sa mga mahuhusay ng mga area managers nung araw yan. Ngayon, ano na siya, no? Reyna na siya, no? Tapa Queen, no? Tapa Queen yan, no? Hindi ng Paranaque, si Mami Sin Pineda yung Reyna ng Paranaque. Tapa Queen po ito, Tapa Queen.
Yun
So,
ang
di
mga
ba? O yung mindset mo ba is, nako, 'di ba? Ang dami namang nakita nito, ang dami namang napuna, 'di ba? So, well, ang commitment to excellence is the first example na you're always striving to improve and to calibrate your standards higher, no? You don't mind feedback and you're actually enthusiastically listening to feedback because you want to improve, no? And you take it as a challenge na balang araw magiging kasing talas din ng mata ko, no? Kasing taas din yung standard ko, no? I'll give you another example, no? It's a classic conversation among Filipinos, no? I can only speak for our culture because, you know, dito naman ako nabuhay, nagtrabaho, no? At namumuhay pa hanggang ngayon. No, yung tipong sasabihin mo, ako, madalas ko ma-encounter yan, yung, pasensya na po kayo, sir. Sir, pasensya na po kayo kasi ganito, no? Pasensya na po kayo, pasensya na kayo. Well, ako, I always tell them, well, you know, there's nothing to apologize, no? But you have to really think hard of what your standard is. Kasi kung ito na yung okay sa'yo, then you will have a hard time succeeding. No? Binabalik ko, no? Binabalik ko. Ito yung standard mo eh. Wala akong magagawa. Kasi it's the thing that you do, you know, when nobody else is looking or when nobody else is pressuring you. Sige, lagyan natin sa extreme example. That's your standard. Kung paano ka kumilos, ano ba? Eto, let's take a more, you know, more general example. Pag yung magulang, kahit hindi siya nakatingin, yung anak niya nag-aaral ng mabuti, 'di ba? Nagtatry na manalo sa buhay, hindi lang sa eskwelahan. 'Di ba? Yun yung example ng ano, nagse-set na ng standard. So, you know, setting excellence as your standard is a big prerequisite, no, for you to be an effective leader, no? Kasi yung leadership sa sarili mo, leading yourself before leading others, as John Maxwell would say it, is actually clearly defined by that statement, you know. Setting your own standard. Because if another person is still setting the standard for you, then you are not the leader in that scenario. So, sino nagsiset ng standard, siya yung leader.
Ang ganda nung segue nun actually sa next question ko, Coach eh. Because we talked about yung mga examples natin, like for example, yung mga store managers or yung mga shift managers natin, na it's a reflection kung ano yung performance ng shift na yon or anong performance ng store na yun is a reflection of your standards. Yung condition ng store mo is a reflection of your standards. So as a leader, how can you ensure that there is a consistent standard, quote unquote, in your organization or doon sa culture mo?
Head, heart, and hands. No? You have to acknowledge the triple H. No? Napaka-basic ng, ano, no, ng lesson na yan na natutunan ko nung araw pa. Nung nauna ko narinig yan, talagang I found it really relatable and relevant for me. No? Na, oo nga, no? You know, as a leader, the currency of leadership is influence, no? Others would say it's trust, but it's, if you look at it from a perspective of how, how leaders accomplish, yung united and consistent uh, and uniform action of people, yung may cadence, may rhythm, may productive flow, influence yun eh. Because you cannot be at the stores 24/7, you cannot tell people, you cannot micromanage your way to success, di ba? But the key is actually empowerment. Empowerment. So, ano yung empowerment? It's allowing people to think, to decide, to take full accountability. And yun pa lang, yung pagsiset mo ng standard, standards in terms of latitude, no? How do you want to lead your people? Ako, I want to lead my people with latitude. Anybody who cannot work doon sa principle of latitude, of course, given na tinuruan, sinet up for success, it means that hindi siya pasado rin sa standard. Because if that person requires a lot of supervision, di ba? Hindi pa siya ready mag-lead, hindi pa siya ready mag-manage, di ba? So, kailangan pa siyang hawakan ng kamay. Siyempre, merong sa simula, gagawin mo yan, but merong time limit din, no? Setting time limit is actually a clear example of, trying to implement consistency across the board. Consistency meaning fairness as well, no? When talk about consistency, the law applies to all or none at all, di ba? Sabi nga, di ba? But meaning, it is applicable in terms of leadership na equitable, di ba? Equitable. So, for people to behave consistently, you should, ironically, you should treat people equitably, not equally. Because you have to differentiate between the performers and the non-performers. No? And then that consistency of how people see how you interact with performers, how you engage the non-performers, how you hold the perennial non-performer accountable, yun yung mag-i-establish ng consistency at ng uniformity ng results. Kasi if for a leader to be consistent, no, and for people to understand that there's a parameter, no, it's not a who organization, it is a why organization, no? If the why is clear to everyone, then alam, nahuhulaan na nila almost, no, predictable na yung gagawin ng leader. No, predictable in a good way, no, in a great way, because they know that if they aspire to be excellent, they will be rewarded. They know that if they don't hold themselves accountable, they will be held accountable. No? Tough on people, no? Tough on results, kind to people. Hindi kailangan yung presyo, parati natin pinagkikwentuhan, Christian, yung alamat ng buhay ko, di ba, may nakakwentuhan akong mentor ko, no? And coach, ang sabi niya, if you want to know the true character of a person, put him in a stressful situation. Sabi ko, teka, pag-isipan ko muna yan. Parang hindi ako, I don't really, it doesn't really resonate to me. After a few months, binalikan ko siya, sabi ko, ang naisip ko, it's more of, if you want to know the true character of a person, give him freedom. Give him or her latitude. Di ba? Kasi kung ginagawa lang ng tao yung tama because nape-pressure siya o natatakot siya, hindi yun sustainable. Hindi mo kayang i-sustain yun for a long period of time. Because hindi yun yung natural, hindi yun yung natural tendencies ng tao. Hindi yun align sa kanyang purpose, sa kanyang level of standards. Di ba? Napakalalim nun, Chris, pero totoo yun. No? Na head, heart, and hand. Kailangan may buy-in, no? It makes sense logically, the whys make sense, and then the purpose, which is, it touches, it inspires the heart, yung why, di ba? The why also inspires the heart. Then you empower the mind. Yun ang ng DNA ng the Resto Coach eh. Saka ng Coach and Share, di ba? Inspiring the hearts, empowering the minds, and, di ba, equipping the hands. Diba? So, if you do those three things, then mas sustainable yung consistency ng excellence as a standard in your resto negosyo.
Yun. So, ngayon, meron na tayong, we set the standards as leaders, diba? So, now we talk about yung systems and processes or yung sinet na nating systems and processes. So, what is the importance of having or establishing these systems and processes for productivity and as well as helping your team succeed?
Yes, yung ginawa nating 'di ba, yung ginawa nating mind setting, heart setting, soul setting. Ulitin ko mind setting, heart setting, and soul setting, no. Yung spiritual alignment, very important din yan, di ba? Yung doon nagkakaroon yung ano no, moral standard, di ba? Kasi when you talk about standards, it's not just quality standards, but also moral standards. So what is right, what is defined by the organization or your culture as right and wrong, di ba? So, having said that, no, na mindset mo na heart set mo na soul set mo na yung mga tao, align na kayo sa values, then dapat bigyan mo yung tao ng mga standards and systems, no, that will make it easier for them to accomplish the right things and, in consistently and fast. Ulitin ko, systems are supposed, no, to make it easier for your people to make the right things happen, get the right things done consistently and fast. No? Maraming debate diyan kasi 'di ba lalo sa panahon when you talk about systems is technology, etc., automation, etc. Well, ang pinaka primary parameter is that is it making it easier for your people to make the right things happen, get the right things done. Lagyan pa natin ng kama for your stakeholders, no? For your customers, for your employees, for your shareholders, for the community. Diba? Yun yung ano na pagiging experience-centric pa rin ng organization mo. Yun yung pamantayan o yung yung ika nga parang four-way test with each of your stakeholders. Now, when you create systems, is it yun lang kung yun yung magiging purpose mo to make it easier for my people to make the right things happen, get the right things done consistently and fast. Mas maganda yung guidance mo yun. You will never create a system that will burden people, that will take them away from customer-facing situations, di ba? Yung nandun na lang sa loob ng opisina, hindi na nakakaharap, ang daming reports, ang daming pinagagawa, no? Ang daming finifill-upan, no? Yung standards, hindi imbis na padaliin yung trabaho, ang hirap intindihin, masyadong wordy, di ba? Instead of visuals yung ginagamit, no? Example would be also there's a danger also in engaging with technology. Kung hindi na pag-aralan ng gusto, if it's, kung merong system glitches, merong delays, no? Errors, no? It makes it difficult. No? Then, nawawala yung consistency nung sinasabi ng kumpanya, nung kanyang intention versus yung nararanasan actually nung kanyang people, no? Again, people as generally described, generally used to describe a group of stakeholders, not just your customers.
And I think this is one of the guidance din na natutunan ko working in the F&B industry is that whenever kunwari ako as a marketing practitioner, lahat ng nilo-launch natin or lahat talaga ng ginagawa natin, ang unang-unang tinitignan would be yung impact muna sa people, 'di ba? Kasi may mga times na excited tayo na fresh ideas, 'di ba? Oh, wala pang nakakagawa nito or bago to in the market, ganyan. Pero ang unang tinitignan natin madalas na pag na-excite tayo is yung impact agad doon sa brand or impact agad sa business, 'di ba? Ano 'yan, incremental transactions or ganito yung i-bring in 'yan. But ang unang-unang dapat nating tinitingnan is yung impact muna sa tao or impact on people.
Tupak, no? Walang kasing tupak, Miss Chris Guillermo Yap, to. Sapagat, I'll give you an example, no? Ito, not even intentional. Wala tayong sinasabing intentional. Unintentional, yun sinasabi, unintended consequences. Magandang intention for the brand, magandang intention for the business, pero hindi na consider yung epekto sa people experience. No? Halimbawa, no? Cost efficient siya, mas mura, no? Mas yung equipment, ito pwede na to. 'Di ba? Sige, ito na lang gamitin natin, no? Tibay, etc. Then hindi mo sineta for success yung yung hindi mo pinag-aralan yung sistema. Yan, specialization ni ni Harold Diang yan, 'di ba? Hindi mo tin-Randall test, no, hindi mo tin-time and motion, no, in-implement mo, no, and then nagkaroon ng negatibong impact sa experience ng empleyado. No, huwag ka magugulat kasi ba't hindi sa home office tinitingnan mo sa support office, ba't kaya dito nga takbo ng produkto, ang sarap naman. Tapos yung pala pag in-execute, merong mga difficulties in executing the product. Or it can be an equipment mistake, no? Pag pala marami ka nang niloload, umuusok na siya, hindi na kaya ng exhaust, no? Then you're surprised pag nakita mo yung numero, ba't hindi tumatakbo itong produkto? Nung tinesting natin to sa opisina. Diba? That's why you have to pilot, you have to do an actual execution of the product, no? And to get feedback from no? Before the customers, the employees. Diba? It might be the equipment, no? Because when you talk about systems, it's not just, recipes and build cards and set of standards and, people development or coaching. It also includes yung layout, no? Yan yung pinaka-importanting sistema that you have a standard layout for your kitchen, no? Yung spaces, pinag-aaralan yan, no? Yung movement, no? So all of these things put together, ang end goal is, again, to make it easier for your people to make the right things happen, get the right things done, aka to execute the standards at an excellent level, consistently and fast. Diba? Setting them up for success. Yeah.
Yes. And doon mo makukuha yung buy-in, di ba? Yung buy-in from all your partners. So, ngayon, Coach, napag-usapan na natin yung ating principle number 3 and we set excellence as our standard and na-establish natin yung ating systems. Before we go to our principle number 4, Coach, meron ba tayong mga classmates na gustong batiin?
Actually, ang galing ng segue mo kasi ito si systems guy, no? Si systems guru. Harold Diang, sabi niya, systems and processes change the behavior of our people, hence, will make them productive and eventually provide results and higher outputs. I totally agree with that. The systems will influence the behavior of people, their productivity, their efficiency, and their delivery of results. Dadagdagan ko lang, Brother Harold, no? Dadagdagan ko lang, no? Systems and processes actually show people that you care for them. Kasi if you take the time and diligence required to establish the right systems, it means that you care for your people. Ayaw mo silang mahirapan. Ayaw mo yung sitwasyon na you're holding them accountable, you're pressuring them to deliver results, pero hindi mo tiningnan na ang hirap palang i-achieve ng results dahil yung execution ng mga sistema, ng mga standards is very difficult. Yan, pagsamahin natin. Sabi ni Coach Donald, systems lead the organization to consistency on getting the positive results towards people and great metrics, of course, to check the progress of your operations. Spoken like a true coach, ang ating mga coaches, Harold Diang and Coach Donald Tenorio. Sabi ni Lance Luis Spearheader Caviteño, good evening coaches, watching always from Cavite. Si Joseph, magandang gabi sa iyo, paring Joseph from the University Hotel. Of course, si Jake Castro, no? Ngayon, aka the father of AJ Castro of the UP Women's Basketball Team. Good evening from Las Vegas with love. Ayan, educational topic daw, kaya excited siya ngayon. Sabi ko na, nandito na si Ma'am Sining. Good evening, watching from Mekawayan, Bulacan. At of course, Simon Tess, parating nandyan yan, no? Don Mordy, magandang gabi sa iyo, Don. At ang mga taga BBQ Chicken. Sabi ni Don, consistency and always proactive, ika nga. Yan. Binati natin kanina si Coach Melody, isa yan sa mga mahuhusay sa pagdating sa mga ganyan, no? Sistema, standards. No? Magandang gabi sa iyo, Coach Mel, at ang mga taga Tapaking na pinamumunuan mo, Tapa Queen. Ayan. Marjorie, OG Liwa, good evening Coach Romel, Coach Chris, at sa ating mga ka-Tuesday, ka-hashtag Tuesday Habit. Ayan. Agree. So yan, mga gusto kong pakinggan. Agree, Coach. Most of the greatest systems innovation came from pain points and experiences. No? Sabi nga siya, it comes from a genuine concern or a genuine intent to care for our employees. Diba? Para you can set them up for success.
Lagi natin sinasabi yan that a restaurant business is a people's business, di ba? It's centered around people. So that's why, di ba, you set your people for success. You show genuine care for them.
Ito pagka naalala ko si Harold Diang, di ko maiwasang batiin si kumparing Gilbert Tolentino. Kasi si Harold Diang, naalala ko yan na tawa siya ng tawa habang nagpe-prepare kami ni Gilbert Tolentino na mag-host ng isang, I think it was a Christmas party. So, sorry paring Harold at yun ang naalala ko. But that was one happy moment for me as well. Si Marvin Siquito, andi rito, ng Mega Mall. Alright, Chris, sa pagpapatuloy, ang ating number 4. Validating, following through, and respectfully holding people accountable.
Yun. O, di ba? Ang haba nun, validate, follow through, and respectfully hold people accountable. So, ang unang katanungan na pang-universe natin, Coach, is that what is the importance of setting your targets and metrics early for the team, and how can this effectively be a tool for holding people accountable?
Well, number one, it's a very important para sa akin it's very important para sa pagpapakita sa tao that you actually genuinely care for them. Because for them and specifically for their growth and development. Kasi kung wala tayong malinaw na metrics, targets, it is indicative of an organization that doesn't really care too much for the growth and development of their people. No, bakit? Kasi kung wala tayong goals, wala tayong everyday goals, sayang naman ang ating pinagpapaguran, 'di ba? Kung wala tayong panukatan, para tayong naglaro ng sport tas walang scorean, 'di ba? Anong nangyari? Wala lang, naglaro lang kami, no? Tawag diyan sa basketball, nagpapawis lang kami, no? And I don't participate sa papawis, no? Tawag sayang naman ang time, 'di ba? So ang sinasabi natin dito, setting metrics is also about fairness. 'Di ba? Sabi nga natin, kaya na-invento yung SMART plan, 'di ba? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Because you have to give people guidance, no? And yung guidance, quantify mo, no? In some culture, they can also qualify, qualify and quantify the objectives, no? Again, dinawin natin doon sa P2R model, no? Hindi lang business objectives. Merong people plan, so merong people objectives, merong brand plan, so merong brand objectives, at merong business plans o yung mas maraming numero, no? Mas marami tayong numero diyan, like daily average transaction counts, average daily sales, no? More importantly, not only the revenue targets, but also the profitability targets. And then, ang maganda ron, as an effective leader, kaya mo siyang pag-connect-connectahin. Para sa dulo, people will understand and appreciate, no? Not just understand, but also appreciate what's in it for them. So what if we hit or we exceed or we go beyond, the targets? What will happen to me? Diba? Yun yung magandang indicator of an organization that is really a why organization. Because everything can be connected. And each individual, despite their diverse and differentiated goals in life, no, they find a common denominator that will unite them. Diba? Yung common goals, common metrics that alam nila, no, why do we need to hit our sales targets? Why do we need to increase our transaction counts? Why do we need to deliver excellent hospitality and service, and how will it affect our, yung buong cycle end to end, naintindihan ng buong organization top to bottom. Now, although I don't usually use the top to bottom analogy, but that's the clearest way to define it.
I think it's very connected dun sa principle number 3 natin eh. Kasi one example of setting your standards or you setting excellence as your standards, it's having that targeted metrics. Kasi how can you say na excellent yung standards mo if you don't have a baseline or wala kang sinusukat, 'di ba? So having that targets and metrics will really help your people as well, your partners, 'di ba? Lalo na if you're mentoring them to have that baseline of standards. Ano ba yung baseline and what do you want to, ano bang gusto mo mas taasan pa yung standards na sinet para sa'yo?
Yeah, tama yung sinabi ni Coach Donald, no? Establishing, systems and standards actually champions objectivity. Para lahat ng tao merong equal, equitable opportunity to excel, no? And to grow and develop, no? As you've said, no, Chris, it's very, controversial because malawak ang spectrum ng setting targets. You can set a very low target which will demotivate the team, or make the team parang, eventually digress in terms of hindi sila mag-grow. Meron din namang yung sobrang stretch targets na it ends up pressuring people, frustrating them, no? And it makes people do the wrong things, na apektuhan na yung morality, yung moral standards, because in an effort to achieve the business goals, nagkaroon na ng mga character defects yung organization, no? Meron ng integrity issues, meron ng mga creative ways of achieving the targets, no? Because hindi na in touch yung leader dun sa ano ba yung tamang target lang na kaya nating i-sustain year on year. 'Di ba? Na hindi maapektuhan, makokompromiso yung ibang standards. Hindi makokompromiso yung excellence, hindi makokompromiso yung hospitality, yung service, hindi makokompromiso yung quality. Diba? Profitability, lalong-lalo na nakakatakot pag masyado tayong nakatutok sa profitability, yung lalo yung mabilisang profitability. Let's talk about growth as well, diba? It's very very exciting to talk about double-digit growth every year. No, of course, if that's the case, I mean, that's well and good. No, I mean, but you have to plan it carefully, and you have to consider the entirety of its impact to the organization, our people, not just the organization, but the entire stakeholders, including the community. No? As we always talk, diba, yung talk about yung genesis ng The Resto Coach, it's humble intent is to help make the industry better. Na mawala yung mga nagbubukas ng tindahan na walang training, walang tamang standards, walang tamang sistema, and akala nila, no, it operates in a vacuum at walang impact sa industriya yun, diba? So meron, no? Kasi nagtayo ka ng negosyo, nag-employ ka ng tao. So pag first timer yung nagtrabaho sa restaurant mo, tapos hindi mo binigyan ng tamang onboarding, tamang training, ito pala yung trabaho sa restaurant industry. Diba? Or even yung controversial, I might sound controversial here, diba? Yung mga sumisikat na hype, nagte-trending, no? Let's be careful. Kasi ano bang standard yung pinopromote nila?
Yes.
Diba?
So once meron tayong mga targets and metrics, ito yung maganda yung validate and follow through. So, hindi siya yung pagbinigay lang natin na, ito yung targets nyo Kailangan meron tayong validation, may follow through. And ito yung medyo controversial nga din, Coach, yung respectfully holding people accountable.
Yeah, that's why it's qualified as respectfully holding people accountable. And it's put at the end kasi you have to validate and follow through. Coach along the way, give feedback, timely feedback, importanteng importanteng descriptor word ng feedback yun timely and constructive feedback. No? Kasi again, no, napag-usapan na sa number 2 yung recruiting the right people and investing in their development. So pagdating mo sa number 4, ipa-follow through mo. No? Iba-validate mo yung execution, titingnan mo kung nagagawa, you give feedback, no? And sumisegue sa number 5, mapipreempt ng konti, pero kasama ron yung coaching, recognition, rewards, no? What's the tangible reward for doing the right things? Diba? So, following through, no? Meaning it's one of the often disregarded and taken for granted element of execution, following through. Following through with the right demeanor, no? Differentiating the performers from the non-performers, differentiating the level of performances among performers. Diba? It's clarifying kung ano yung hindi pwedeng good job, pero ba't kaya ako good job? Diba? So it's giving a specific feedback so people can continue the right things, doing the right things, and they would know what specific items they need to improve in their dimension of performance.
Medyo
diba? Sa dulo, saka mo ngayon respectfully holding people accountable. Diba?
touch up natin, Coach, yung next question ko, which is, isa-segue ko na din, is ano ba yung mga strategies and effective practical tips in following through and validation? And doon na natin binigay kanina, Coach, yung kailangan timely, di ba, and accurate. Ano pa ba yung mga iba nating tips kung paano ba mag-follow through and validate sa ating mga team members?
Well, may it requires a deep understanding of number 1, the recognition that each individual, as the word implies, are individuals. No? Hindi pwedeng one approach for everyone, no? Iba't ibang approaches with the proper courtesy to the individual differences or individual personalities without compromising that everyone should be subjected to the same system, standards, targets, and metrics. Diba? Kaya nga respectfully holding people accountable ang tawag. And as we described it earlier, tough on results, kind to people. No? Hindi mo kailangang, well, iba-iba ng method, pero ako, I've always subscribed to a method where kung kailangan mo pang manigaw, kung kailangan mo pang magmura, kung kailangan mo pang yung biruan nga, di ba, paulit-ulit, then you might have the wrong person in the organization. So, ba't mo pa kailangan maltratuhin? Di ba? I-redirect mo na lang yung tao, di ba? Kung talagang feeling mo, given the latitude, hindi siya makaperform. Kasi pare-pareho naman yung binigay mong latitude to everyone. The worst thing that you could do is to put your emphasis, no? Too much emphasis on the non-performers. no, na ang naramdaman ng performers, mas binibigyang atensyon yung mga non-performers. So everyone will gravitate towards non-performance. Kasi mas nire-reward mo ng time yung mga non-performers eh. 'Di ba? Sabi nga ni OG Libag dito, I personally think that how metrics and targets are being set actually defines a company's values, mission, and vision. It's a reflection of how every single individual person understands the company values. No? Collective behavior becomes the culture. Diba? So the culture is defined by how people behave, no, collectively, not just as individuals. No, pag pinagsama-sama mo sila. So, going back to your question, 'di ba? Going back to your question, it is actually at the core of Chris, it's actually at the core of leadership. No, it's actually at the core of the methods and techniques, if you may call it that. But more importantly for me, no, it's actually at the core of the demeanor of leadership. 'Di ba? Ganun ka importante 'yon, no? Ganun kahalaga. Because how you respectfully hold people accountable is number one, hindi mo pwedeng, 'di ba, randomly, no? When you go to each store, iba yung behavior mo. When you go to another store, like I'll give an example, no? Kaya nga dito, sa ating company, we have yung tinatawag nating high impact leadership disciplines. Meaning, kailangan merong certain parameters and rules and standards yung pag-visit sa tindahan. Hindi pwedeng wiwiduhin mo lang yung minsan bubulagain mo, magkakape ka, di-disguise ka, no? Meron talagang prescribed method of doing it. Para bumisita ka sa store number 1, bumisita ka sa store number 35, yung fairness na ibigay mo sa kanila, that they'll be subjected to the same metrics and standards, but with careful consideration of their level of competence. Kasi you don't treat the eagles like how you treat the turkeys. Yun ang leadership examples ng mga old management gurus, di ba? Kailangan nare-recognize mo na okay, pang ano to, pang mataas na level yung store manager na bibisitahin ko. No, if you're a business owner, no, etong aking leader na to, ibang trato ko na rito, hindi ko to spoon feed, hindi ko to breastfeed, no. No, sa halip, I will just ask the right questions. No, I will present the reality, ask the right questions, and see if he or she can connect the dots. 'Di ba? Kasi yung ano rin, yung spoon feeding or breastfeeding, kung tawagin, depende sa level. Ano yan, Chris eh? It might sound funny, but it's actually the worst that you can do to a person.
You're
No?
taking away yung ano nila yung critical thinking,
Yes.
and then yung that latitude of giving them na they can make their own decisions and then holding them accountable for
Yan,
it.
iugnay natin. Di ba yung sinasabi natin, how to develop a leader? Never take from them the opportunity to think, to decide, and take full accountability for their decisions and actions. Napaka-unfair na ikaw nag-isip, ikaw nagdesisyon, authoritarian ka, ikaw nag-isip, ikaw nagdesisyon, pero sila mananagot. Di ba? Who would like to work with you? Di ba? Pag gaganon yung sitwasyon. So, iugnay natin doon sa head, heart, and hands. No? If you're not harnessing the head and the heart, then you're just getting manual labor. And then you're the supervisor of all. No? Ikaw lahat nagsusupervise ng actions nila. So, walang madidevelop na leaders, followers lang yung madidevelop sa organization. Eventually, work-life harmony will suffer, your own first, no, and then eventually the entire organization. And then if there's no empowerment, then yung sustainability ng business will just be dependent, no, yung law of the lead. Sa'yo, kung ano yung status mo, yun na lang maging status ng negosyo.
Correct.
Diba? Bagitin natin, nasabi rin ni coach din to, si Jomar De Leon. Metrics are important. It will help the person improve his competencies. Caveat, metrics should be aligned with the vision or goal. Yan ang mga caveat, no? Agree on the accountability, coach. You always say, hila mo, buntot mo. Oh. It will make the person consciously perform because he knows that his actions will deliver positive results and will impact the lives of others. Tama, hindi tayo nabubuhay. No man is an island. No, you don't operate in a vacuum. You don't live in a vacuum. May impact, may ripple effect yung action mo sa ibang tao sa paligid mo. Gaya ni Erwin Lancero na nasa paligid ng Calamba, Laguna yan. Sa mga sandaling ito, tingin ko.
Actually, final question ko na to for the night. Pero I think medyo matagal natin to pag-uusapan dahil nga controversial yung holding people accountable. So what are effective ways to hold people accountable without it escalating to conflict? And how do you encourage a culture of accountable team players?
Well, diligence and respect, courtesies are all integral parts of your preparation, no, to give feedback. You don't just go to a store and judge a person. No? Yung judgment is ano yan, bawal yan. No? Yung biases, no? Recency bias, no? Yung randomness bias, no? Yung hindi mo naman inobserbahan talaga. Pero yung sinasabi ko nga parati, when you visit a store, don't act as if you know how the store is operating. 2 minutes ka pa lang kung magbigay ka ng mga coaching points. 'Di ba, na isang katutak na kagad, parang nasa isip ng taong kausap mo, hello, eksperto ka, sir? 'Di ba? Hindi mo man lang kinamusta kung ano sitwasyon dito, nalaman mo na in 1 minute's time, no? 2 minutes time, nalaman mo na yung buong sitwasyon. So, observe, listen, no? Always, sabi ko nga kanina, present the reality. For example, I'll give you a role play example, no? Hi, Chris, no? It's been a while since I visited your store last. These are your results. Kindly explain to me what's happening. Give me insights on what you've been experiencing in the store so I may be able to understand it better. Diba? Present the reality, ask the right questions, no? Yun yung unang dalawang steps na yun bago ka mag-conclude, bago ka mag-ano, no? And then allow the person to explain how the dots connect. Diba? And doon mo makikita, doon mo mag-gauge, no? Then you can accordingly, you can evaluate and assess ano yung feedback na ibibigay mo. Is it recognition? Is it reward? Or is it respectfully holding that person accountable? No, kailangan merong fairness, no, and objectivity. Huwag mo haluan ng emotions, no. Yung carefulness natin, yung ating mindfulness rather, no, na huwag tayong lalo yung hearsay, bawal 'yon. Information plus experience. Visit the store, interact with the person, engage them, ask them the right questions.
Yes.
Diba? Huwag tayong tatalon doon, I will go to the store to respectfully hold them accountable. Parang, kailan ka ba huling nagbisita sa tindahan? O kaya, hindi ka na-go on floor. Ikaw mismo, as a leader, you're not setting the right example. Then yung credibility mo, yung moral ascendancy mo, to hold people accountable, it should begin with yourself. Diba? Ikaw muna. Are you holding yourself accountable? Diba? So, yan
And
yung mga ilang practical, I think, easy to remember tips.
And then I think you circle back kasi coach dun sa recruiting the right people eh. Because if you're able to, yung checkbox natin or yung framework natin, kung tawagin, di ba, yung alignment natin sa P2R and at the same time, yung building blocks natin, it's easy to have yung mga talents na tama yung kanilang heart set, mindset, and soul set. So when you give them feedback, yung mindset nila or yung kanilang how they perceive the feedback, it's easier for them na, okay, sige, kailangan ko i-calibrate yung standards ko, kailangan kong gawin to. So it all goes back then dun sa people mo that you have in your stores.
Well, tama yung sinabi mo, Chris. I totally agree with that. Dagdag natin, no? It requires a very high level of responsibility. Kasi when you hold people accountable, number one, binanggit ko na kanina, are you holding yourself accountable? Diba? Number two, are your feedback based on both information and experience? Bawal lang hearsay, bawal lang sabi ng iba. You have to observe, you have to listen. You have to subject the person to the same, the same standards, the same parameters as everyone else. And then their performance, their results will actually dictate. Doon papasok yung equitability. Di ba? Yung pagiging yung differentiation ng the best will get the most, the non-performers will be respectfully held accountable.
Parang, pumupunta na tayo, segue na tayo dun sa fifth principle natin, pero we'll leave it for next week. Magtitira tayo para may konting pabago.
Yes. Maraming salamat sapagkat napaka-active nung ating mga classmates ngayong gabi. Kumbaga sa recitation, lahat nagtaas ng kamay. Accountability means transparency. If leaders are transparent on what needs to be done and the expectations, everyone will surely be inspired to be fully accountable to their leaders. Sabi yan ni OG Liwag. Ayan. No, napaka-active ng lahat, no? Magandang gabi, Boris Pido, kung nasaang bansa ka man ngayon. Diba? Systems champion of objectivity, sinabi ni Coach Donald kanina yan. So again, no, I mean, I'm happy that everyone's actively participating because I always reiterate, I am not the resto coach. Chris is not the resto coach. We are all coaches, no? When we participate in this classroom every Tuesday evening. Sabi ni Quincy, leading ourselves before leading others. Ang ganda ng paalala niya. Sige, magpaalam ka na, Chris, bago ko isiwalat. Isiwalat talaga yun. Ipakita yung ating resto quote for the week.
Yun. So as always, sa ating Tuesday Habit, maraming salamat mga classmates. And of course, for next week, not only we're discussing yung number 5 na principle natin and then a recap, but we're also accepting mga questions, any topics that you want to discuss under dun sa ating mga practical principles, di ba?
Padaliin natin, dito na lang sa comment section na to, ng episode na to, para wag na sa messenger. Kasi sa messenger, marami po tayong nakukuha mga iba't ibang mensahe. Kailangan pa natin i-segregate. Dito na lang po sa comment section. And kung ma-appreciate ko po, kung magtatag kayo ng mga hindi nakapanood ng live, so you can, share the experience, not only the coaching points, but more so the whole experience of the entire episode 177. I'd like to congratulate everyone, every classmate of ours from the start or from day 1 to up to now. It's episode 177 already. Salamat, Chris, for always helping out, no? For always volunteering to, although pareho natin alam yung haba ng araw natin today, but maraming salamat. I truly appreciate your your concern and of course your volunteerism for the Resto Coach and what it stands for. Now for our yan, hindi ko pala na-IQ. Hindi ko pala na-IQ. Ang dami ko sinabi mga kapatid, no? Hindi pala ako technically prepared. My apologies, no, for setting the wrong standard. Hindi ko lang na-click. Sobrang harsh naman nung hindi ko na-set yung wrong standard. Alam mo naman ng Zoom, it requires yan. No? Ayan. Pag-usapan natin.
Ayan.
Eto na. Ibibigay ko na. Ang sabi niya, no, perfection is not attainable. But if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Sabi yan ng of course, the namesake of the trophy for the National Football League, no, si Vince Lombardi. One of the great coaches, not only football coach but life coach, no, a recognized life coach, si Vince Lombardi. Sabi niya, maaaring hindi man natin ma-attain yung perfection, but if we chase it, we can catch excellence. And that's not bad at all. Diba? So, maraming salamat muli, Chris, sa ating mga classmates. Thank you very much to everyone, lalo yung pati yung mga nag-heart, nagbibigay ng reaksyon. Nakakagana po yan pag nag-session tayo rito. No? Si Ian Repani, magandang gabi sa iyo, brother. Si Ivy Par Alcantara, syempre pa, no? Naka-thumbs up, pumapalakpak pa. At si Bong Villanueva, watching from New York City. Wow! Sana all. No? Parang namimiss ko na yung New York. No? Thanks, Coach and Chris, mula kay R.R. Gallego, JP San Juan, magandang gabi sa iyo. Thank you very much to everyone and let's continue to coach and share. Magandang gabi po. God bless.